Hey folks, so this time we're going to talk about Nayan, a very important figure in my life, aka Nayan, as Smith used to call him, and I used to call him the archive because he was a fountain of fun facts. He was an index of infinite information, and before we can even talk about Nayan himself, let's talk about the Savlas, because back in Kenya we call them gangs, but they're not really gangs. It's just big families with the same surname, Chodas and Savanis and everyone. So the first gang I knew was the Savlas, and that whole family is just strong. They have a couple of cousins, Parag and Mittal also. Nobody messed with them because of sharing that same surname. Nayan's father is very strong. Mother, strong. Brothers, so the eldest one right now, he's doing some tourism and travel and everything. Doing some great stuff. I love watching what he's doing. Sunil, I used to call Sunil, the middle one, the president. I used to call him Prezi, because he just carried himself like a boss, and he really helped me with keeping mentally stable. And he used to do this look. Me and him used to exchange this look. I still can't explain what it is, but it's like the rush, or just it's amazing or something. It's like you're just smelling in the prana and just enjoying it. Before even getting into Nayan again, we have to go back to Piyush. And this might be some Oshwal whispers, because I don't have clear information on it. I just remember something called Lapus before it became Nix. Now Lapus and Nix was the cooties game, if you would like to call it that, where the guys are just like, yeah, girls have some kind of disease and don't talk to them, don't touch them, and cross your fingers if you're doing it. So I do remember either Piyush started it, or he was one of the guys who did it a lot, and then either Sunil or Nayan evolved it into something called Nix. And I used to see these guys 1 or 2 years above me doing such weird movements when they were near girls and stuff. So back to Nayan. My first few memories were that he used to hang out with HN. I think they used to carry this sports bag, and they had these shell suits, really cool shell suits. Or maybe that was just HN. Nayan was always the rebel, the one fighting the power. So we had that in common, because I also like conflict a lot. First memories. First thing that comes to mind is going to his house, because me, Vivek, Clint, some of us used to have lunch at school itself. We wouldn't get picked, so we would go to his house, and I used to look forward to those days, because first of all, this guy, like I say, it's just archive, just knowledge. And he used to have this magazine. Thanks for reminding me, Nayan. It was called Target, and it used to have quizzes, riddles, puzzles, comics and things like that. And every now and then we would also go to the Majanwari library and look for those books. So just doing those books, I felt like my head was growing, or I was getting as clever as him, because as mentioned before, I've had reading issues. And the other reason I used to like going to Nayan's house was because Sajni stayed downstairs, so I'd go in the balcony and try and take a peek, see if she's around, and most of the time I would get to see her, because she would be hanging around in the balcony. Anyway, next to it there was the remote, which had all the buttons eaten. So this is another thing I have in common with Nayan, because I loved eating stuff. I just never got to the point of eating the remote buttons, but thanks to Nayan, I started eating tamarind seeds, amli or amla or whatever you call it, and he started me on also these stones, these rocks, bund or gund or something, and they turn into jelly chewy gel kind of stuff in your mouth, and we use it in cooking like rub but I personally like pencils, toothpicks, pestles. Oh my god, pestles are the best. Scratch them. Faber-Castell pestles, and then scratch them off and eat those. Grass, rubbers. I always wanted to eat Roshni's collection of erasers. Anyway, so yeah, so that was that, and as I've said, like, he was the guy who was always rebelling. There was some we liked our conflict, right? So imagine this: one day, my best friend then was Vivek, and for some reason Vivek was already sitting with Nayan sharing a book when he usually sits with me, and Nayan's giving me the look like, yeah. And I was like, fuck man, has Vivek snitched on me? Because then Standard 5 was when Vivek approached me and he's like, listen, I like girls too, none of these guys like girls. I'm like, everybody likes girls, what's wrong with you people? You're behaving like this because you don't know how to, these feelings, you don't know how to process them. I don't care whether they're my friends, I don't care whether they make me sister zone or friend zone. I just need to be around female energy the same way I need to be with guys. That came out a bit weird, but anyway. So yeah, that's how we became friends. And now he's told me his secrets, I've told him mine. And I'm like, has he told Nayan everything? Has he told Nayan about my Kitimini stuff? Has he told Nayan about Krishna R, or what's happening? Anyway, stress. Break time comes and it's on. All I remember was Nayan and Shuli chasing me around recess time in the field, going Paras, virus. And I don't think anything really serious happened after that. I mean, I even remember seeing Vivek, the betrayer, behind, running sheepishly like, oh yeah, what have I done? Yeah, and I remember my mom stepped in for that next thing to make peace between me and Nayan, because I always looked up to him. I was really heartbroken that something like that would happen, and just stuff like that. So that was my only conflict with Nayan. Otherwise, throughout, even during that conflict, I've held nothing but reverence for this man. In Standard 5, the funniest thing he did was during Mario Sosai's class. He was sitting in front, HN was sitting behind, Mr. Mario was writing. Suddenly you see this Nayan's face turn to HN, and he's like, he started singing to HN. And just as he turned, Mario Sosai turned, and Mario Sosai had a very special way of knocking the hell out of your head if you are misbehaving. So he went straight for Nayan's head, and Nayan's face, just the expression, turned as fast as he turned to sing to HN. So, and HN's big eyes is just watching everything. Oh my god, that was hilarious. Okay, so then Standard 7, the biggest memory was when we went to Mombasa. Thank you, Drew, for reminding me. It was Kanamai camp. The kids they were already mixing and stuff, so that was also good. And during that time, that bus ride, Nayan changed our song, because it used to be, everywhere we go, people always ask us who we are, where are we coming from. We always tell them we are the campers. If they don't hear us, we shout a little louder, we are the campers. But he changed it into we are the terrorists, because that's the rebel he is. He was also the guy who epitomized big, hairy, audacious goals, because check this out. During that Kanamai trip, he pulled out a tin of Cerelac, baby food, that we all went crazy for. And this is when we were just transitioning. In the next year, we'll be in high school. He was selling it for 1 shilling each, a spoon. Who thinks of this? So as I've said, and myself and Nayan, we enjoy some conflict. And in high school, I remember he was being truculent with Mrs. Athaid. I think in his compositions he used to write Monster A. So he had some conflict with her there. I remember even later when Smith had come down and we used to hang out and stuff like that. Smith used to take lots and lots of jabs at me. I mean, he used to take jabs at everyone. And Nayan's like, why are you not fighting back, man? He's doing all these things and this and that. And I'm like, look, I wait, I collect. And then once things are built up past the point where they shouldn't have gone, then it'll be my turn. And I think I gave it back at some point, but I really regretted it. So I think 4 or 5 years later I emailed Smith and apologized. When it comes to music, Nayan was my introduction into proper good jungle. Because then it was just mostly, like the chart stuff. Mia the incredible Takara. He used to get a series of CDs called Jungle Techno. And Jungle Techno 6 was one of my favorite. I used to play that. Play this movie called Tap on mute because it was tap dancing. And I used to love tap dancing to Jungle at home. So I used to do that. Jungle. And then when he came back from uni and stuff, by then it changed to drum and bass. And he got some really nice drum and bass music. Me and him had some other things in common. So what we used to do is sit in the car, enjoy the music, enjoy some other things, and just talk about things. I loved conversation with him. I really enjoyed it. After high school, we went to Coast. And again, big, hairy, audacious goals. We went to the casino, and it was the first time I was learning blackjack. And he's like, listen, do you know there's a method of counting cards? You do this, you do this, you do this. And I was like, how do you even know about all this? I'm still learning all blackjack, and he's next level with the counting of cards and all. That Mombasa trip also, like usually in the car parks where we used to hang, he had his own chemistry set. But when we went to Mombasa, he broke out the big set. Let's just leave that there. I remember the Superman drum and bass song he used to play. There was once my cousin Ricken came from UK and we went camping, and them two got in such a amazing debate in Nevasha about the good or the bad of Hitler. Yeah, that was very stimulating also. Nemu used to be very entertained by certain things Nayan did, especially when Nayan was like retaliating, and he would tell someone or something like, don't piss me off, I'll poke you. So Nemu always used to make fun of this. Like if he gets pissed off at me, he'll be like, don't mess with me, I'll poke you. The other thing Nayan used to do after he came back from UK was he used to say, the boy. And his laugh was like that I'm losing energy kind of laugh. I can't do it right now because my workmate over there is looking at me. Nayan always wore unique clothes also. He used to like the baggy stuff like me. I remember him saying something in Gypsies where he's like, I'll buy something which nobody else has ever worn or something like that. And he was into his baggy stuff, like the ice hockey stuff, the ice hockey jerseys. And now this is another Oshwal whisper where I heard that when he got in a fight with his brothers, he wouldn't give up until they gave up. And if they didn't give up and he lost, then he would lock himself in the room and read the encyclopedia for hours. So this became my inspiration. Or he would read newspapers front to back. So when my reading got better, and this was after college and when I was running the cyber cafe, I started reading because my dad used to get the 3 newspapers, Nation, Standard, Kenya Times, big up Bongo Man. And I would start practicing on reading every day. Even if I didn't comprehend, I was like, listen, it's not comprehension, but I'll just go through the lines to make sure I'm doing it. And the more I did it, the more comprehension kicked in, the more understanding kicked in, the more I understood the patterns of how to read. But that's a whole separate video I've made on dyslexia. Nayan was a big inspiration for that. And I started carrying the dictionary and reading the dictionary with me whenever I was reading and stuff. Now, for some reason in my notes I have pacify and street fights, which nothing is coming to mind right now, so I'll leave it for next time or a different time capsule. Big up Nayan, thank you very much. Said I have nothing but reverence for you, and I am grateful to your erudition for being my drona, or I was the Eklavya to your erudition, something like that.